Hello, everyone. Good evening to you, and welcome to another video tutorial on the XAU USD. In this video, I will be taking you through my thought process on what my expectations are as we take a technical dissection on what to look out for during the new week. And it's important I state here that this is going to be a follow-up detail to my previous analysis and talking about follow-ups. We were able to make close to 7,000 pips in profit on the XAUUSD for last week. And I'll be glad to share with you key moments that we had during the course of last week trading session. As at the beginning of the week, I shared this commentary here where we were able to spot a beautiful channel just right around the 1860 level to look out for trading opportunities. And if you remember during my video of last week on the XAUUSD, I laid much emphasis on the importance of the 1860 level, where I said I am leaning towards a selling opportunity if it so happens that price action breaks down the 1860. And this is exactly what happened later on that day as we saw price action do a breakdown of the 1860 level. Needed further confirmation, then we saw the breakdown of the 1857 level, which was the support level of the channel we identified earlier to trigger our sell stop order. And in fact, price action moved about 1,000 pips in our direction before we saw this bullish momentum, which took us out of all the positions we had after moving our stop loss to secure that current position. Now, one thing interesting happened here. We saw price action come back to do the retest of the pennant channel we identified earlier. And we said we are going to be waiting for a Valentine gift if we see a reversal pattern around here, breaking down the 1860 level to incite another wave of bearish momentum. And this was exactly what happened here as we saw a reversal pattern in the form of a double top structure. Price action broke down the 1860, broke down the bullish trend line, and it was a beautiful opportunity for us to join that decline to the downside. A further breakdown of the support level at the 1857 level triggered another position here, and we continue to ride the move all the way down with the hopes that price action will do another breakdown of the 1854 level. But what happened afterward was quite interesting here as we saw volatility take us out of all the sell positions we had. And this was as a result of the CPI events that happened later on that day. So I stated here that we shall be anticipating another re-entry for a sell position if price action falls down below the 1860. Then it took about, I think, about 2 or 3 hours before normalcy came back into the market, and we had the first position triggered one more time to incite another wave of bearish momentum, and we were lucky enough to have more position at the breakdown of structures like the 1854, 1850, and we were able to ride the move all the way down into the 1830 level here. So it was quite a profitable week for us, though we had some little consolidation phase here where we identified a channel around this area between the 1837 and the 1834 area, where we said whatever happens, breakout of the structure will definitely be giving us a trading opportunity. Though we saw the consolidation phase continued, and we identified a sell window here where we said this bullish momentum here might likely do be a retracement phase of the previous impulse leg into the structure, where we said we will be looking out for selling opportunities. And this is what we saw later on that day. We saw price action come into the sell window. We saw the first touch, second touch, third touch here, and this triggered the sell position here, and we hope that price will break down the 1830 level to add more position. So it was quite a very interesting situation for us here last week, and so we continue to rather move all the way down. If you really have to look into this, you want to see how we took advantage of these trading opportunities in detail, Well, I will be sharing the link to this commentary in the comment section of this current video. And if you are watching on my YouTube channel, you will be seeing it at the top right hand side of your screen right now. So, with that being said, here on our last week experience, let's dive into the current market structure where I want us to be looking at the daily time frame. And if you look at the current structure we have on the daily time frame here, it's quite obvious that price action has been bullish here in the last 4 months. And as a result of these, I was able to connect the series of higher lows here rather, and we have this bullish range which is simply identified with this bullish trend lines here. And before going into the details from this current structure here, I would like to refresh our memories on what has been really happening in the XAUUSD in the last 12 to 14 months thereabout here. And if we zoom out into what has been happening since the beginning of last year, the first thing that will be clear to us is the fact that the $1,800 level has been a beautiful and significant structure in this market. And for me, at this point, it appears we are at an equilibrium as the 1800 level has been a significant structure that has been determining where price action will be going. Look at what happened here at the beginning the of last year. We saw how the 1800 level had been a strong demand zone. In fact, this lasted for the first half of last year as we saw another buy pressure trying to resume around this area during the month of May stroke June of last year. But this was not strong enough as we saw sellers break down the 1800 level in the month of July. And throughout the second half of last year, we saw our price action had continued to trade below the structure to further emphasize the strength of the sellers at this point. Now, something interesting happened during the beginning of this year. We finally saw the breakout of the 1800, 1820 zone to signal another wave of bullish momentum. And as you can see here, after price broke out of the 1800 level, price action moved a whopping 14,000 pips up towards the 1950 level. And in the last 2 to 3 weeks here, we saw a situation where price negated the 1950 as all attempt by the buyers to break out of that structure was negated by selling momentum, which led into a situation where price broke down structures like the 1900. Remember the importance of the 1860 level, which I laid much emphasis on during my live session last week, and we saw situation breakdown of that structure as price action is right back at that level where it started this year. And with the information we have right now, you would agree with me that we are at a critical point in the market right now as price action continue to trade at the level where it started this year. And if we zoom into that current structure here, you will see how um, price action at the 1820, 1800 zone there shares a beautiful confluence with this bullish trend line that we identified on the daily time frame here. So at this point in time, we need to be very, very careful here as we need to understand how price action will be reacting to this beautiful confluence here to determine what our next line of action will be. As at this point, price could go either way. It could result into a situation where price will respect that bullish trend line one more time, climb above the 1860 level to incite another wave of bullish momentum. And there is also a possibility at this point where price action could break down the 1820, 1800 zone, selling pressure below the structure to incite a wave of bearish momentum to the downside. And remember, we are at a critical point here where it has been serving as a supply zone in the past, where if a breakdown of the 1820 happen, selling momentum around this area will be a beautiful opportunity to sell. And considering the fact that the same level had also been a strong buying zone in the past here, price action trading above the 1820 level will be giving us an opportunity to buy. So at this point in time, I would like us to scale down to the lower time frame as I was able to identify simple structures which I think we can use to identify trading opportunities around this area during the new week. But before I go into the 4 hours time frame, I would like us to have a look at the economic calendar as we have major macroeconomic events to look out for that will definitely be bringing some liquidity into this market for this week. And when we bring out our economic calendar, I was able to look out for high impact events focusing on the US dollar. And what I saw here is that on Wednesday, we have the FOMC minute. And then on Thursday, we have the GDP product for quarter 4 publication coming up on that same day. These are high impact events that participants in this market will be anticipating, and definitely we shall be seeing the reflection of this anticipation on the chart as price action. So going back into the chart here is very likely that we might be seeing some consolidation phase around here during the first part of the week before a significant breakout or breakdown of the structure will be giving us a signal of where price action will be going for this week. Now, scaling down to the lower time frame, that is the 4 hours time frame, where I said I was able to identify a simple setup here that we want to be using to guide trading activity for this week. Now, on the 4 hours time frame here, this is what I saw at the 1820 level, which has been a strong buying niche since the beginning of this year. And with the 1845 level here serving as a neckline of that structure, I am of the opinion that if price action breaks out of the 1845 with buy pressure above the structure, it will be a beautiful opportunity for us to join a bullish momentum to the upside. And if the other thing happened, that is, if the contrary happens here, leading to the breakdown of the 1820 level, respecting this bearish trend line one more time, followed by sudden pressure below the structure, then it will be a beautiful opportunity for us to sell the XAUUSD for this week. So these are my views here on the XAUUSD. So I would like to pause the video at this point, and I hope that the my analysis here, my explanation here has been of immense help to make your personal decision for this week. And if it did help, kindly support this project by clicking the like button. Thank you for watching this video. I really appreciate your attention for seeing me through to the end of this video. And I promise that I will be seeing you right in the comment section on Monday morning after monitoring our participant will be reacting to this current structure here to decide what our next line of action will be. Thank you once again for watching and hoping to see you right in the comment section on Monday as usual. Do have a wonderful evening. Bye bye.